The next item is an update on the work of the year-round school committee and a request to change the committee name to the Flexible Learning Year Committee. And I believe Ms. Bukta will brief us on that.
Yeah. We've met 4 or 5 times now. Four times. In the first two, first meeting we were given a binder with lots of reading material, research and reading material, and so we took the opportunity to educate ourselves on information that's out there. The second meeting we discussed the pros and cons from those, and it led us to more questions. And so then we had a panel, and I have to read the names because I don't remember really well off the top of my head. Mrs. Teresa Conley, Ms. Jane Carter, and Mr. Stephen Michaels. Teresa is a parent who had a child in a year-long school. Jane she's an adult now, but she was a student then and was in a year-long school in New Zealand and has attended Toma High School. And then Mr. Stephen Michaels is the principal of Hamilton Elementary School in La Crosse, which is about a year ahead of us in researching and looking at year-long school. And that panel was very interesting, and we asked a lot of questions and got feedback. The panel was very pro year-long or flexible school year, from the student perspective, from the parent perspective, and from the educator perspective. That was very eye-opening. And then the next meeting, which was the last meeting, as a committee, the focus became all the feedback we're getting from the community. At this point, we haven't put any information out to the community, but there's lots of misconceptions out there that is coming back to us. So we haven't quite got, this is all preliminary points. And one is traditional schools, kids lose skills over the summer. A flexible year can help this. District appealing to different learning preferences. That would be one bullet point. The next one is the term year-round school is misleading. The student will not have to attend school any more days than they do now. It's just scheduled differently. But it doesn't mean that the students would be going 365 days minus a vacation here or there. It's spread out the same amount. In participation right now, the committee is looking that it's optional. There are some of us who think it would be fun for the whole district to be involved, but there are others who think it should be a pilot program with one school. And I think that will be where if we go ahead, I think that's the direction the committee might be taking at this time. K through 5, a one-building pilot, and it would be the same curriculum and consistent programming. It's not going to be a whole different school and a whole different curriculum. And minimal 6-week summer break. That's a minimal. It may be more, but. And then the parent of. As I said earlier, the parents of the children who have gone year-round schools have positive reports to us. And so it's exciting. I have to say it's exciting to be able to talk with other people and think out of the box about what is good for our students, what might help them learn, help prepare them for the future. A lot of options and lots of ideas are thrown out. Not all by any means are going to be the direction we go, but it's exciting to be able to research and look at that. Because of the talk and the feedback so far, the feeling is even if we do not do whether we do or do not do year-long school in the thought that we're talking about, we do feel that it might be to the advantage of our students to have a flexible year schedule and to look at some of the scheduling of the calendar differently, which hence they've asked us if this, right now the committee does not feel that they can go ahead and look at the flexible year without permission from us, and that it may not be year-long so-called, but it may be a flexible calendar. So they're asking for a change in the title so that it isn't so misleading, and that they have permission to look at the different options.
So
Did I
essentially,
cover that okay?
I think you did, yes. Yeah. Essentially, Pam, you want to rename the committee.
Rename the committee, not redo the goals of the committee, but as they've had research and the panel and many things, there is a feeling that even if we don't go ahead, whether we go ahead or not with a year long, that there is a feeling that we could do better in scheduling and working with a calendar for the kids than what we are now.
And my impression is, I mean, it's still very much being looked at to go forward with what most people call year-round school. It's just, there's some concern by the committee that's not really, that can be misleading. And so by calling it flexible learning year,
people hear the term year-long school and they think the kids are going many more days than the traditional, and that's not the case. The breaks are different. There are more breaks actually during the year in a year-long school than we have now. What was that? 45-15. 45 days on, 15 off. What does that mean? A year-long school would actually be exactly that? No, but that's the model that's most out there. And as a school district in these tough times, we're not looking to add, at this time, to add days to teacher contracts to increase our budget. We're just not looking at that. We're looking at how we schedule the days more. And all of it is in with mind of student learning. Teachers will learn with this too, but the student learning, what's best for the kids.
and still the primary model is where you eliminate the long summer break and you school essentially the same number of actual face-to-face school days over the entire year.
Yes, so far everything we've looked at, that is the case. We're still looking at, even if we did go to one of those models of year-long school, we're still looking at keeping the summer enrichment and summer remedial programs. So I've heard some concern that we would be dropping that, and those are so good. I'd like to take a lot of those summer courses. And we still plan on all of that. They're not looking at dropping anything like that now.
Good.
At this point. It's still a committee looking and weighing options, and we haven't come to any conclusions that this is the direction or this is the direction yet. But we are asking for a renaming because of misconceptions, and because it looks like even if we don't go there, there may be some suggestions they'd like to come back to you with a flexible year.
Okay. I would look for a motion then to rename the committee.
make that motion to rename the committee from year-round school committee to the flexible learning year committee.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to rename what's now the year-round school committee to the flexible learning year committee. Any other questions or discussion about that? Thank you for that update. There's a lot to summarize.
You could probably have done it better than
No,
I.
no, I'm glad you did it. Those were very wide-ranging meetings. It'd be hard to summarize everything
And we have another one tomorrow night.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we had homework for that.
Yes.
Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries, and so the request to rename it to the Flexible Learning Year Committee is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.